Well, hello, ladies. Can I get a one if you hear me? Let's get that one up in this bitch. I love it. I love y'all. Thank you, lovely Lunarian. Thank you, Mrs. Rogue. Thank everybody that's throwing the ones in there. We fixed to get into it with my extreme ass. Happy Taco Tuesday, everybody. I hope everybody's doing well, feeling well, doing your thing, getting shit done, and just flat out happy, making moves and making your life better, putting yourself first, number one. Okay, what's going on, Mistress Rogue? Riddler's in the building. Poison Ivy's in the building. V and Training is here. Religion Free is here. The Great Escape is here. Kamali is here. SLW04. That's an interesting name, but you're here and I appreciate it. Now let's go. You know you're gonna see a comment up here as we go along. First, I saw someone in the comment section saying that, wait a minute, what passed? The reason you don't know what passed, right, is because you got people out here worrying about where Nichols is putting a little shit log and passport bros and what the niggas is doing with they dang-a-line. I mean, that's just what's important. Look at that. And with the preference getting it, and the preference got it too. The preference got the same black man. Look at this person right here. He said this. The passport bro's getting fucked up here. Look at what this nigga, y'all. You better get your head out your ass. Remember we talked about that Jim Crow law in Mississippi? It's past the House. Now, stick a pin in it. I know for a fact that a lot of people thought that something so extreme, I love that word extreme. That's going to be my nickname. Extreme. Something so extreme would not pass. That, I mean, that's ridiculous. That would never pass in this country. That nobody would do that shit. That, I mean, SJW all over the goddamn place. I want y'all to stick a pin in that. Let me go ahead and share my screen and let me show you some examples why something like that would pass and should pass. Your sons are trash and everybody's fucking tired of them. Tired of you taking up for them. Tired of you making excuses for them. Hiding them from the law, huh? Right? Fighting cops. This is all true, y'all. You're going to see it all tonight. Fighting fucking police officers and throwing open the car door so your son can run down the street and you catch a cop fighting charge, cop assault and battery on a public servant. All this shit. Motherfuckers getting goddamn paralyzed. Because that goddamn video is so violent, I can't show it here. But ladies, there is a story coming out of Houston with your son. When I say your son, I'm talking about your average nigga, your average black dude, your average idiot ass motherfucker that y'all took up for. And now you fixing to suffer the consequences. Ladies, if you are still on the fence, you better get the fuck on. Okay? It's some things that I didn't think with my extreme ass would pass in any form or fashion, no matter what you named the shit. Something that's nicknamed the Jim Crow law passed the House and headed to the Senate. But let's go. The screenshots are here. The woman you see in this fucking screenshot had been saving some money so that she can go out of the country and visit her family, whom she hadn't seen in 6 years. She went to Bank of America and withdrew, $4,000. Well, whenever there's a nigger around, that's a problem. Okay? This motherfucker followed her for 24 miles. Now, remember when I told y'all, keep your head on the swivel? Because when a nigga is around, you might want to let them go in front of you. You might want to, go ahead and come back and do business another time, unless it's something that's time sensitive and that type of shit. Because you don't want to be prejudiced. You don't want to be prejudging motherfuckers. Listen, that's what FBI profilers do. They prejudge you based on the history of what the fuck has gone on in that particular demographic. And what has happened with niggas, right? They are violent. They're lazy. They don't bill. They're deadbeats. They're entitled. Okay? So he picks her up and body slams her. She can't walk any goddamn more. The other thing is this. This is what they're showing as to who he is. They haven't found him yet, unless they found him in the last hour or so. He's still on the loose. Okay? You're not going to tell me that if this was your relative, based on this screenshot, you wouldn't recognize him. But nobody's made the call to turn this motherfucker in. Why are you saying that, DZ? What the fuck does that have to do with anything? This is how you get tied to bullshit like this. Don't you think the police and authorities know that you know who this motherfucker is? If this was one of my children, I would know exactly who the fuck he is. I could recognize one of my children from out of a million people. They live with you all your life. You raise them. Somebody, auntie, somebody knows who the fuck this is, and ain't nobody picked up the phone yet. Okay? This is how you get tied to shit like this. You are becoming the source of this nuisance that everybody's having to deal with in the so-called community and outside of the community. Okay? When you divest, you have to get the fuck away. There should be nothing you and them are doing together or have in common whatsoever. Aaliyah, are you familiar with this story?
Yes, I am. And all I have to say is I guess the militant extreme bed wenches were right again. Because how long have we talked about this? The fact that these people are getting tired of you and your sons and the death, violence, and destruction, and them basically taking apart the fucking country and not making it safe nowhere, no matter where you live, and all this other shit. We've been telling y'all, get this shit together, clean it up, hold these motherfuckers accountable, make them responsible for the shit that they're doing, or if not, you will constantly continue to create these fucking monsters. Nobody wanted to listen. You want to keep talking about how they're so oppressed, how they're so innocent, how they just kids, and every damn thing else. You have an excuse for absolutely every fucking thing that they do. So now this is where we are now. Because I specifically said by the time they get tired of y'all tearing up shit, they coming back for their country. Make no mistake about it. Because somebody is gonna have to take the reins of this bullshit. And since you didn't want to do it, and since you couldn't tell them anything, and since you couldn't put them in check, well, guess what? It won't be your decision anymore. And somebody else gonna have to come in and do it for you. How many times did we say that also? So I guess we win again.
It's
That's all I had to
happening.
say.
It's happening. It's literally happening. Back, I want to say about 5 years ago, there were certain things that you couldn't say or write online lest ye be deemed racist, right? You couldn't say certain things in comment sections on any platform. It'll get either deleted by some moderator or get deleted by the holders of that platform or whatever. Now they're letting certain shit go because it's true. It's true what they're saying. Your sons have run amok. They've run amok and people are getting tired. They are tired. And slowly but surely, you getting ready to see some changes around here. Okay? Listen. Yeah, yo, brother, that old nigga that keep telling you bullshit. Yeah, they're threatening to cut off your motherfucking head with a machete. It don't matter how old they are. From that 20 something year old nigga I just showed you all the way up to old ass pop pop right here. And I don't know why y'all call these niggas pop pop. They ain't taking care of no goddamn body. What they actually doing is threatening to cut your goddamn head off. Huh? You think you playing? This is your brother, but I catch hell when I tell you. Look, it would be a lot more people over here if I didn't say, "Yep, your daddy too. Yep, your brother too." I'm not dealing with your brother. No, I'm not dealing with him either. Love on him. Do what you do. I'm not going to love on him because I know what they are. As a collective, they're fucked up. And even when they threaten to cut off your goddamn head, here you go. What's going on, Snapper? What you got on that young nigga and this old nigga?
Hey, well, on the young one, the community, they are going to blame slavery as to why they're not turning him in. His cousins and them, his mama, his aunties, they know who he is, like you said, but it's like they have this warped, ridiculous logic that they're owed something. And so they don't give a fuck about that woman that he harmed like that. They out there spending that 4K. He probably splitting it with whoever's housing him. It's really disgusting. And then this fucker on the screen looks like a fucking knuckle, and it's just off a little bit. But yeah, they're just ew. He's his old. I don't know. Same old, same old. I'm not surprised.
Darling, let me put this up here. Confetti tacos. Are you dusty?
No, far from it. It's Chim Chim. Easy. I don't know if you remember me. Can you hear
I'm
me?
sorry, I can hear you. I don't
Oh,
remember
okay.
a chum chum, but if you got anything on the topic or you
Uh,
got any
uh,
smoke, I'm here for both.
no, definitely no smoke. I on the topic, he just looks like a dirty fingernail, like this dude right here. I'm
Well,
sorry. That
to be
was,
honest with you, all of them are ugly. All of
well,
them are
yeah.
ugly to me. I don't see anything handsome about a group of lazy ass, violent ass, non-building ass, non-protecting ass niggas that also hate you back. Huh?
Mm-hmm.
They just don't like you. Hey Ebony, how you doing?
Hello.
Uh,
How you doing?
I'm
This
hello.
amazing.
this guy looks like an Easter Island head thing. I don't know. He's just ridiculous. Now here's the thing. We told y'all. Say, we told y'all. We keep telling you. There's no exceptions. If the FBI can't vet them, the Army can't vet them, if the police academy can't vet them, you can't vet them. Leave them alone. Because what has happened is, see, all this escalation actually started before the George Floyd stuff. And now we see what has happened. The police departments are going, dang, they're passing laws. Lord help us all. And you know what? If you don't divest now, it's your head. You're going to get one of those Mammy RIP cards from me.
Hey, DZ. Oh, I'm
Yes,
sorry.
what's going on, Nefertiti? How are you?
I am awesome. It is Taco Tuesday. I had my tacos. I had my margarita. I'm good.
I'm
So I'm
jealous.
on
I
that
didn't get
other
my tacos till later, but go ahead.
girl, look, I'm on that other side of the wall. You know what the saddest part about the whole wall we've been talking about? I bet you these bitches actually imagined an actual wall. Like they don't know how to read context clues when listening to people. They actually thought, oh, they're talking about they're going to build an actual wall around cities. Like, do you all not understand that the way society works, you don't need a physical wall. This is not whatever BC time of China. We're not building a great wall.
It's
Walls are
called it was called redlining in the past, and that's what's going on now. They are getting
dumb.
their maps together and figuring out where they're gonna put these mammies and these niggas. They're gonna put them somewhere with the dirty ass water, because when you can't even shower in the shit, the water is disgusting. They have a water advisory down there where they just passed that Jim Crow law where you shouldn't
Mm,
even be showering in the shit. God damn.
Well, it's
That's
gonna be.
scary.
Get your popcorn, ladies, who are
I
on the
mean,
proper side.
to be honest with you, this shit has been out of control. This shit is
Hmm.
long overdue. Hell, if it were up to me, they would have set martial law in place a long time
Thank
ago and
you.
brought them in to clean this shit up. Cause it is fucking ridiculous. But see, you can't do shit like that in the US because everybody want to go to crying about how you're infringing on their constitutional rights and all this other shit. And they have a right to do this and they have a right to do that. All this is American entitlement. I've always said that we are so soft on our people when it comes to certain shit. And it's like, this is how we got here. The
For
fact that
real.
there has been no law and
Look,
order, no control.
I have to go ahead and tell you, these niggas, they ain't our people. I'm so done with these motherfuckers. You can paint me Bart Simpson yellow. Niggas and they mammies, them ain't my people. I can't, I get just as cringed out when they walk in a room as a so-called racist white person. I'm just gonna keep it real with you. I start gathering my things and finding another location to do whatever the fuck I'm doing. Because when one black person walk in, it's like, ugh, okay. Two black people walk in, I'm bringing my purse closer to me. Three walk in, oh, that's the Crips. That's the Bloods and the Crips for me. I got to go. Three or more, I'm out of here. Period.
I'm the same
I
way.
think there's.
I am.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Oh no, go ahead.
No, I was gonna say there's a saying that it's like in the South. If there's three or more, I will not be something like that. I don't know if you heard that, DZ.
Say that again.
Like if there's three or more, I will not be something like that. Like
Yeah,
if
I'm
there's
not
more,
going. I'm not
yeah,
going everywhere.
yep.
Y'all, I got a video I can't show y'all up here, of course. I'll share it with y'all in the Discord, but it's a get together of a bunch of black people. I guess they were supposed to be celebrating somebody's anniversary or whatever. All black. This was in Selma, Alabama. They throwing chairs. They beating each other's asses all over the place. I thought Selma was somewhere that you're supposed to be respecting because of that bridge crossing or whatever the fuck you call it during the civil rights movement. But that was Selma. I'll show y'all tonight. Snapple, please remind me to grab that video and throw it in the chat tonight when we go to Discord.
Oh, and let me clarify something too. If ever you hear me say we up here or us, I'm talking about the black collective or us as black women collectively, not divestors specifically. I'm talking about entire community. Now, that's not us individually. So I just need to clarify that. Please do not get those two things twisted.
No, I don't know what they was fighting for, boo. I have no idea. But black people don't need a reason to fight. Once you see them pour that cheap ass gin in the bottom of a red cup, followed up by some fruit punch or some Kool-Aid, get your shit and go ahead and go, because when they get a little tipsy, it's time to beat each other's asses. I don't look, Black Lives Matter, right? So they got to beat each other's asses. Look at the screen, y'all. Are y'all aware who that is? I know Kyra knows who that is. Who's that, y'all? Always a flex. Who's that? Shay, Bay, who's that? Metadol, who the fuck is that?
Who is that?
I
Is
never
he
heard
like a mayor or something?
I
Mayor
never
that did some
heard
fuck
that
shit?
because they had the nerve when this story first broke and his picture got released. They had the community had the nerve on a certain gossip site. Shout out to y'all. They were trying to say he was Indian. They were not trying to claim this motherfucker. I'm like, that's a whole nigga. Y'all know damn well that's one of y'all's. He did that shit.
That's a black man. There's nothing
Yeah.
Indian about him, either Indian or Native American. That's a whole black man. But okay.
Mm-hmm.
That right there is the MSU shooter. Nobody was talking about this.
What?
That's the MSU
MSU?
shooter. Listen, look, Kyra, go ahead and introduce this Silverback to the people.
Good evening, DZ. Good evening, ladies. Happy
Good
Pi
evening.
Day.
Hey.
Happy Pi Day.
So this is the Michigan State shooter that occurred, a few weeks ago. You know, this grown cicada going onto a college campus that he has no business going onto, and he ended up unaliving 3 people, including a black girl who was attending there. I believe she was Delicious niece from Flavor of Love, that reality show. And I believe he injured 4 or 5 other students who made it through the injuries.
Now that y'all know who the fuck this is and know that they were fighting about what his actual race was and all that shit there, yo, this motherfucker was an incel. It's been released just recently, I think about 6 days ago, that they found a note in his pocket, right? Receipt time. This is the note. Couple things are redacted because, it was plans for shooting up other places. We'll just leave that right there. But he's talking about how motherfuckers can't stand him. Nobody likes him. Nobody loves him. Y'all see the handwritten emojis with the tears and all that shit there. He was just doing his incel thing. Listen, Michigan State shooter, nope, says he felt hated, rejected. Right?
I have a comment.
Okay.
You know how you said that, basically people are being soft on crime here in the United States.
They are.
Actually, white people are being rough on everybody else. They're treating these people, with kid skin gloves, and that's what we got. Doesn't mean
Ebony,
any
you call them people. They're not people. They're missing links. That's all.
missing links, silverbacks, whatever you want. But that's what I'm saying. Anybody else who've been doing this kind of stuff, it wouldn't have even escalated to the point because the community would deal with them. We or them did not. So when they feel some kind of way about anything, the chicken was too burnt, it's raining, anything, here they go. They go on some homicidal bullshit.
That's your sons. That's your uncle. That's your daddy. That's the people that you get upset with a certain group of divestors about talking about. Let me make something clear. I'm not trying to separate you from your family. Go on, baby. Do your thing. Be safe. But don't expect for other black women to coddle these motherfuckers the way you do. They're dangerous, right? I don't want anything to do with them. Why you want anything to do with them is beyond me, but that's your life. I cannot run your life, nor am I trying to. But I'm going to put myself first, and I'm going to get away from every one of these niggas in the best way that I can. I move day to day, making sure I look at my surroundings so I don't get body slammed because of some money I just pulled out of Bank of America. Y'all look around you when you're out here handling your business. I'm not trying to make you paranoid. I'm trying to make you aware. They are out there. Now, if it was 24 miles to a job, that nigga wouldn't have followed nobody to know 24 miles. That's too far. Dog. Are they still using dog? Bruh. But he took the time 24 miles to follow this woman for $4,000. Okay, they looking for who's slipping, and you out here around black folks and just resting in your femininity, go rest in your femininity someplace else. When you're out and about and you're around these niggas, you're going to have to be on guard because they looking for motherfuckers who they're not suspecting it. And the majority of black women don't think black men are bad because you got a bunch of mammies out here saying how they're being misjudged. Their image was fucked up because of Jim Crow and all this shit here, but it's not the case. People are losing their lives. They're losing their livelihood, their life savings. Okay, that woman, she got a low level job. If it took her 4 years to save $4,000, she ain't getting paid a lot. Okay, took her whole goddamn savings from her. She has 3 fucking children, right? None of them are working age. Can't walk no fucking more. All because she didn't prejudge this nigga that was following her for 24 miles. Don't be that. It's okay to prejudge. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
I was just about to say, that was the scariest part about that whole story was how long he actually followed her and she didn't even notice him. So that was just wicked in and of itself. Like he had to have watched her to know she had a wad of cash on her, then strategically followed her as long as it took waiting for him an opening to know to say, okay, well now it's time to strike. Let me go ahead and attack her. And if that
Well,
wasn't enough
authorities,
to
Aaliyah, authorities are warning people now that that's some sort of new trend. People just waiting outside the bank, watching your day to day movings, and whoever pulling out, wads of cash, they following them and fucking them up. There's several videos of it out there. Look it up. They're out
Cece?
there.
The
What is it called? They gave it a name. I can't remember what the
Mm,
name is. I'll look it up for my
go
goddamn
ahead,
self.
Kyra.
the
Who are you?
DZ, I have a question.
Yes, ma'am.
Are they so like trying to get my words out? So the police they don't station at banks anymore.
Um, there's not enough cops right now. Do you remember the whole defund the police movement and every cop is being sued for putting handcuffs on too tight? It's
Are you
hard to staff.
kidding me?
Yeah, it's hard to staff a place with cops. If you are going to have a business and you want an actual police officer to man the area, that's going to cost you a pretty penny because there's not enough cops to go around. They're finding other professions to get in because black women protested the fuck out. They them and mushmouth ass Ben Crump suing everybody that tie up their shoelaces too goddamn tight. Real shit. I wouldn't want to
So,
be a cop.
I think
so
they were the original
Mm-mm.
incels. I'm going to be honest. They were
Who?
the black men, the
Mm,
original incels.
I
100% agree.
I
so
wanted
DZ,
to
you're saying that. Oh, I'm sorry, Kyra, please.
I wanted to add, let's be real. Those of us who went to college, how aware were you when you were out and about on your college campus? And also, the school I went to had a hospital attached to it. There were a lot of people who didn't go to that school who might be there visiting or working at the hospital or other nearby businesses. Many of us are like that. And so again, you can't vet them. You can't assume if you see one, you just need to move away. And please encourage your daughters and nieces who are young and about to go out to college to be on alert for these cicadas.
I was just going to say on that, it sounds like DZ, like you're saying that the Nakers are out here. They're upset about people profiling, but it sounds like they're going out and profiling
profiling.
people and
Absolutely.
casing places. That
Now
that
it's
sounds like
it's it's a whole domino effect. So let's just say you got niggas just sitting in a car outside of a Chase Bank. Let's just say that. Now, if some security guard goes up to the car and say, "Hey, what's your business here? You've been sitting here for about 20 minutes and no one's gotten out the car, just trying to make sure everything's okay." That's called racism. Okay? You profiled them. Well, when you pull up to a bank and you sit in your car and you just watching the customers come in and out, somebody should ask you what the fuck you doing. And if there's a legit excuse for you to be sitting there, then tell them what it is. I'm sitting here looking for my bank card. I'm looking for my ID. I don't know where I put my purse. I'm just trying to get my cell phone together, something. But you are telling them, don't ask. Don't ask. And it's for your safety. That's so fucking weird.
And it's particularly sadistic because it wasn't enough to just rob her and take the money. He actually crippled this woman. She's paralyzed behind that. So you not only took her money, but you took her legs. That is the most sadistic thing ever. And you followed that woman that far just to be able to fuck her up like that. And she got kids she got to take care of. This is what I mean. They don't care about anything or anybody outside of themselves. And the mammy that's protecting him, bitch, you got it coming too. Cause you
Don't
gotta
she?
know your ass gonna be next. I don't give a fuck if it's his mammy. I don't give a fuck if it's his grandmammy. I don't give a fuck who it is. Cause that's some dirty shit. Like DZ said, with that picture, enough of him is showing to know exactly who that is. You recognize that shirt he's wearing. You recognize who that is. If you got an ounce of decency, you will do the right thing and turn that motherfucker in. And if not, and they catch you, you need to go to jail too. I still stand behind that shit because what he did is criminal. And as for this motherfucker here, I'm not surprised that he was an incel, and word is he had ties to the manosphere. I'm not sure how true that is, but I'm sure there's some truth to it. Because when they start spewing that type of rhetoric, that's exactly who they've been listening to. But what you won't hear is a group of whores banding together to call them all crazy, unhinged, dangerous terrorists, and a hate group full of militants and extremists who get people killed in real life. That's the shit they say about us all day, every day. See, this is the language they've never used against these men who have done nothing but weaponize social media against Black women and use it to dehumanize and terrorize us. But they got that kind of smoke for us every day, all day. See, this is the bullshit that I'm talking about.
You know what's also interesting? One of the very first victims, if not the first victim of the manosphere, Asia McGowan, she also was a college student in Michigan when it happened.
Mm-hmm.
I was gonna
Ladies,
say,
look at the racism. Look at the racism, please. Y'all remember the 6-year-old that shot his teacher? Well,
Oh
he's
yeah,
not
I
being
heard.
prosecuted at all. The prosecutor says, look at how racist the prosecutor is. The prosecutor says that the 6-year-old would not understand the legal system, therefore he will not be charging him. He said that he's still conducting his investigation and seeing if he's going to charge the parents. I'm going to follow this story. Do you understand? You know how much premeditation it takes to move a gun from one location to the next, pull it out, point it, aim it, squeeze it. Anybody that's able to do that, they need to be charged. They need to be charged. He knew what it did. He knows what guns do. Who doesn't know what guns do? Right? He knew that would hurt his teacher. I don't know if he knew it would kill her. Fortunately, she didn't die. But it took premeditation and planning, sneaking around, because I'm sure he didn't take the gun in front of his mother and say, Mommy, let me go ahead and take this to school. I'll be back. Love you. That didn't happen. So this little motherfucker planned this shit. Now, y'all got to remember, because I know y'all have a soft spot in your heart for the kids, right? If you got shot and the bullet went through your hand and through your chest, you get a call from the prosecutor and says nobody's going to pay for that, even though we know who did it. You'd feel a different type of way. All of your compassion for the kids would be out the window. I'm just looking for the racism. Where is it, Hoteps? Where is it, ISUPK or whatever the fuck y'all name is? Yoni egg mammies. Where is the racism? I'm waiting, because this was one of y'all little kangs right here that's able to shoot a white woman and go home and chill and eat his oodles of noodles with his punk ass mama. Snapple.
yeah, that little fucker knew exactly what the fuck he was doing. He knew, so he needs to, Lil Rockhead needs to get some consequences, and so does his dusty, raggedy ass parents. But the racist system is protecting the parents. I haven't seen them yet. They're protecting their identities. So
His father spoke to the news station, and for the life of me, I cannot find that goddamn clip. But that's the only reason I even knew the kid was Black. Okay. They said he would not understand the system. He understands it, darling. He understood what that gun was gonna cause a little bit of harm.
But DZ, I wanted to ask y'all, do y'all think the Michigan shooter is he alive? I don't remember.
He
If
took himself, he deleted himself.
Okay, if he had not deleted himself, do y'all think he would have been at that service that they just had for that raggedy, ugly, dusty ass dead kitten that's in the ground the other day with his bitch ass? Do y'all think he would have been there? Because I think that's interesting, you know.
Hell
I
no.
guess they're mourning the old man dark looking motherfucker with his ugly black headed, square headed ass.
Man,
Like, I'm
dark.
so sick.
Looking like something off of Roblox.
Get the fuck out of here. Y'all bitches are crazy. I saw so many mammies. Oh, we miss you. Oh, thank you. You changed my life. I'm like, ew, you
Yeah.
raggedy, treacherous ass bitches. Fuck him. I hope somebody pisses on his grave. Sorry, that's all.
Girl, one of the
See,
motherfuckers that the mammy said, I got the ring because of him. Do you know how you undoing yourself, boo? You just turned men into a whole prize. I got the ring, like that's the ultimate. Yep, a lot of bitches that got the ring, they end up getting the headstone too, especially if they married to a nigga.
yeah.
Don't do that.
And
Don't do
see,
that. Got the ring and the headstone. Go ahead. I'm sorry. I don't mean to laugh. These hoes is stupid.
Package deal.
as far as the 6-year-old goes, see, this is what creates the monsters that we're talking about, the monsters that you see that's out robbing people like the other one. See, that's what happens when they get older. See, there's no consequences or accountability for anything. There's no way that something like that should just be ignored when he could have killed that woman. It's okay though, because they'll let this go. And like I said, by the time he's 16, he'll be uncontrollable. And then by the time he's 18, he'll be a full-on criminal, or he'll be engaging in all this crime if he hasn't already successfully killed somebody else by then. See, this is where they believe their belief starts, that they can do whatever they want and get away with whatever they want. And I know people are going to say, well, he's only 6, so he doesn't need to be put in juvenile detention right now. And my comment still stands. No accountability, no responsibility, and no consequences is how you get these monsters. He will be that same guy that just crippled that other lady. In the next 10 years, that will be him.
Absolutely.
And
Absolutely.
my thing is, why aren't the parents being held accountable? Like, how was your 6-year-old son able to gain that readily of an access to your gun to take it to school? Like, the fuck?
Because
Kyra access. How did he know how to cock and pull? I need someone to tell me that part.
it's some adults that don't know how to, operate a weapon. Real shit. Okay, you knew how to aim, pull, fire around this bitch. That he knew what the fuck he was doing. And the word juvenile hall, right? It's for juveniles. He's a juvenile. He needs to go in there. You wouldn't have created a juvenile hall if it wasn't for juveniles committing crime. But all the shit we just talked about, this is why shit like this is passing, because they're tired of your 6-year-olds. They tired of your old men with machetes. They tired of your MSU shooters. They tired of motherfuckers slamming people with their life savings in their goddamn hand. Huh? And this is, look, y'all, if y'all ever been around, you know good and well, certain areas are a testing ground to see how it fares. If it fares well, this shit is going to spread. There's not going to be a place that's safe for you to move. You're going to have to live with those niggas that you told everybody else was not violent, right? That you told were harmless. Okay. On top of that, y'all, all of this started in Jackson, Mississippi, where it's 83% black. There's proof right there in an 83% black area that your kings cannot run a city, a community, and anything else. Your kings depend on these very people that's getting ready to go ahead and institute this if it passes the Senate, right? You're not going to be able to do a goddamn thing. They're going to run every fucking thing. As a matter of fact, ladies, part of this bill, they will not be allowed to vote for their judges, prosecutors, defense attorneys, none of these motherfuckers. They're going to be handpicked and appointed. And right now, it's all zaddies. Do you hear me? That's why that thumbnail looks the way it does. What you better do is get up out your feelings, get real, stop being delusional, and move accordingly. You need to move strategically. Stop trying to convince the world that niggas are not violent and go take care of yourself, put yourself first. Or you're going to be drinking water with E. coli in it because them niggas don't know how to filter no goddamn water. Are you serious? You're going to be taking shit baths around this bitch. Okay, your schools are going to be made of shacks because this is what the society looks like whenever you put kings in charge. I can't tell you how many of these nigga mayors have gotten arrested for sex crimes and all this shit, drug crimes or whatever. They can't lead. Stop begging them to lead, because you're going to fuck around here and get what you want. And you know what their leadership looks like. It looks like filth, tow up schools, no housing, no food, no crops, no hospitals. What? You're going to be walking around this bitch with a goddamn loincloth on because they don't have any textile mills. They don't have any way of, Lord have mercy.
DZ,
I can't.
did you say hold on, nigga mares? Like,
I'm trying to tell you, it's the truth, though. Gonna be walking around here like those depictions of Adam and Eve with a loincloth on. Okay, look like we got a little bit of smoke. Afro diaspora, whatever the fuck. Are you Dusty?
Peace, family. Hello, how you doing?
Bitch, you got me fucked up.
He said, "Peace, family."
Throw a tomato at his head.
Yes, I came to discuss the inadequate African American leadership in Mississippi.
Lord,
that's a big word.
That is a huge word. Sir, are you a sir? Because all of y'all are starting to look like androgynous beings in your community. Are you a sir, ma'am?
Definitely. I'm a man.
Why are you here trying to talk on a divested channel? Why are you here?
I'm glad. No, because we're talking about issues that are pertinent to the African American community.
We're not talking about.
You're right about the
don't
inadequate
overtalk me,
leadership.
motherfucker. I'm telling you what we're talking about. What we're talking about is the fact that black folk can't lead shit. I'm trying to get black women to leave y'all the fuck alone. Wait, don't do that. Don't do it, because you already know what's gonna happen. Okay, you know what this channel is about, because if you didn't, you wouldn't. It's smoke night. All right. So,
I agree with you, so I'm not even trying to argue with you.
Good. Anything else?
Literally, I just wanted to say, when we look at the Mississippi Black Caucus, you will see that they are coon African American men and women. So we must hold all of the coons accountable.
Is there some particular reason that you called up here just to call everybody the C word? And why are you using that word on this live stream, bitch? Because you not slick?
Yes, because I wanted to.
Listen, homeboy, ape, Africo diaspora person. We're not your family. Okay? Don't overtalk any ladies over here. This ain't that. We already know that y'all can't lead. Okay? I am a very proud bedwench. I'm going to bedwench tonight, as a matter of fact, and I'm looking forward to the shit. Okay? You don't need to try to teach us anything. We already know what's up. Okay? Now, I'm going to go ahead and have you go ahead and get the fuck on out of here, because you're not, you don't have any smoke whatsoever. What you're doing is trying to say like buzzwords to try and get shit taken down. That's what you're trying to do. Let me go ahead and explain. He meant raccoon. A raccoon is an animal that, you know, is on all fours. Sometimes they can stand up on two. They have very dark eyes. He wasn't talking about anything racial. How about that part?
They also wash their food before they eat it, so they're actually a lot cleaner than black males. So there's that too.
Did
I
y'all
was
notice
hoping to get this. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Did y'all notice he was trying to slick blame black women as well? They can never take accountability by themselves. They always got to try to blame black women or blame white men for their feelings.
Oh, yes, I noticed he did throw that part in too, Kyra, right there. It's towards the end. They, you know, they can never leave us out of anything. It's always men and women. They got to make sure they throw the and women part in there too. Mind you, that they are the ones who claim that they want to be the leaders of everything. But when the shit hits the fan, it's let me bring you down with me too, black women. It can't just be all about me. We got to bring you down too, because you were a part of this.
I'm gonna be honest with y'all. I didn't hear any of that shit. All I heard was his throat, and he said he was a black dude. After that, it was like, child, midnight snack. Are you Dusty?
Far from it.
Okay, what you got?
I was just going to say, in terms of the last caller, African diaspora, he's actually a troll. I would go as far as like, if you could block him, he actually is a passport bro who escaped mainland America to go to Puerto Rico to quote unquote build. He claims he has properties in the Dominican Republic and Mexico and God knows where else. And, very frequently he gets drilled about, well, if you can build in Puerto Rico, why couldn't you build here?
Fuck him.
Why
I
you
have
have to?
no that just is another receipt of my divestment. I've never heard of this nigga. I don't
I know. And
it's just that I don't do niggas. I just don't do them. They make my
so
skin crawl.
So if you see him again or see his name pop up, just know that he's a troll who could not make it here in America and find anything here in mainland America and had to go to a third world US territory to quote unquote build.
But does it matter though? I mean, like deep down, like who cares? No disrespect to you, dear. I'm just saying.
Oh no, I'm just saying, like, just future reference, because I just tuned into your channel and I recognize that voice, and he is exactly who he makes his rounds on women's channels, where we talk about that.
Absolutely, because this is what black males do. Look, y'all, here it is. This is black male.
I'm trying. Bro, just walk. Girl.
This is y'all's men right here.
Just walk, baby. Walk. Okay.
Is that you, Afro diaspora? Is that you?
You got it. Now watch me.
That is so sad.
Hold me, baby.
I have no.
Listen, for a bunch of guys who claim
those motherfuckers are gonna build. Bitch, are you out of your mind? Mammy, are you out of your mind?
I don't disagree with you. I do not. It's crazy. And, we ask him over and over again for a demographic that claims to not like us, have any respect for us, try to muddy our image. Why do you follow us everywhere?
Exactly.
Why can't you leave us the fuck alone? Go somewhere and eat your food. Like, come on, dude.
Yeah,
go get Bob so you can build.
All I needed to know was that he was black. After black and male, I don't hear anything else after black and male.
Exactly. That's why I always ask them, like, why are you here? This channel or this space is not for you. We don't want to talk to you. I don't know. They just refuse to go away. They are like bad rashes. They just will not go the fuck away. But you don't have to worry about it. We already clocked him. I knew exactly what the fuck he was trying to do. Time he opened his mouth. That's why you got up here using all these words and shit. They be trying to sabotage these live streams with that shit. That's why I'm glad she don't even give them the platform to be able to get up here and spew that bullshit.
Easy. I was looking forward to the Sparta though. I was looking forward to the Sparta.
His ass up out of here. I came to agree with you. If you don't get your monkey ass up out of here, ladies.
Monkey is right. No, don't insult monkeys, please.
Or silverbacks. Because even they got smart.
Monkeys.
Yeah, even gorillas are smart.
Here go y'all siblings. Let's go.
If he get the death penalty, that's what he should get. Love him dearly and pray for his soul. But this is horrible. This is horrible.
A Cincinnati family between a rock and a hard place as they mourn the loss of a 21-year-old they say was murdered over the weekend by her own brother.
Oops. That brother that y'all be coming at me about. Are you serious? Not the brother. Well, Dizzy, they might have had a bad relationship. Really? They had a bad relationship? Let's see what the news got to say about their relationship. And there y'all go again with them punk-ass balloon releases. I need to start investing in balloons and balloon manufacturing because, god damn, y'all sending up a lot of these balloons because you won't leave the shit log alone and you won't go ahead and divest from those nigga-ass family members you got because the balloons is making sales, baby. Let's go.
Just held a vigil for her. Our Valerie Lyons shares the emotional call for justice by a family now torn apart.
He kept telling her he was going to kill her. If he get the death penalty, that's what he should get.
Shock, grief, and anger weigh heavy on a Cincinnati family as the unthinkable becomes reality.
Deep down, I always knew my Sean would hurt somebody because he was always so angry.
Oops. Oops, but they didn't get him from around the family, though. Because if you do that, you're contributing to the oppression of the black male. When he doesn't have anywhere to live, what we do? Let's keep going.
But never thought he would take Miss B away from us.
They gathered Monday to remember 21-year-old Amaya Stanley. She died late Friday night, shot multiple times inside her cousin's Winton Hills home. And police say her own brother, 22-year-old Maishan, pulled the trigger.
She was the only one who protected him. She was the only one who stood up for him, helped him, tried to make sure he had a roof over his head. So to think that he would do something.
Oh, let's go back 5 seconds. What about that relationship again? What did she do? What was the relationship? I didn't hear. Let's go.
Maishan pulled the trigger.
She was the only one who protected him. She was the only one who stood up for him, helped him, tried to make sure he had a roof over his head. So to think that he would do something like this is, you can't wrap your mind around it.
Family tells us it started as a fight over a video game. Maishan.
It seemed like we made this up. Doesn't it seem like we made this shit up? You got the black sister, right? And you got the brother who she protected, loved, coddled, took care of, and he's laying up in her home playing video games. Are y'all aware that she didn't feel well and she did not want to play video games with him that night, and that's why he shot her? Don't come over here taking up for your fucking brother. Fuck your brother. Huh? I don't give a shit about your brother. I don't give a fuck about your goddamn daddy. I don't give a fuck about these motherfuckers that you sitting up here talking about are goddamn amazing, and he ain't like that. He wasn't raised like that. He wouldn't do anything like that. Y'all just prejudging him. Y'all just like white folk. Y'all don't give a fuck. Y'all got self-hate. Y'all are extreme. Where is the goddamn lie? And why is anybody talking about this shit? Anybody got anything? Let's keep fucking going then.
Sean wanted to play, Amaya didn't, and that's when he snapped.
He's very violent and aggressive, so he jumped on her, wrestling with her. She got away. She went to run up the steps. She got 3 steps away from the top to go to my cousin's room to get away from him. She didn't realize he had a gun. He shot her.
Family says he shot her 6 more times before walking out. A nightmare for loved ones who say they now grieve 2 lives instead of 1.
I lost a niece and I lost a nephew.
One day.
Because he'll be home.
He stood over her and shot her a total of 7 times, and they still standing there talking about they lost a niece and they lost a nephew. He's still being coddled, even though he stood over her like she was a gangster and shot her repeatedly because she didn't feel like playing video games with him, his own sister. So I hope this explains to you that, you know, we're not trying to be mean. We're just trying to tell you the truth. All from the window to the motherfucking wall.
This was an execution, and this reminds me of that guy who shot that girl over on the the basketball court. I mean, it's just, they are taking you out over the smallest things now. Who would have known, besides us, of course, that a video game would have been worth your entire life? And again, if she would have won, would he have pulled out the same gun and shot her? They cannot take a loss to you whatsoever. They have to win. So I guess because there's a reason he had a gun in the first place. Why did he even have it? And with as many times as he shot her, that must have been something he had already been wanting to do. All he needed was an excuse to do it.
The lady that's on the screen right there, Aaliyah, said that he had been threatening to kill that girl for the longest. Now he threatened to kill her multiple times. Now, why are you letting him live with you? Okay, even if he didn't threaten her, why are you letting your grown ass brother live with you, lay up and play video games? What do you expect the end result of that to be? For him to get better? For him to be productive somehow? Haven't y'all learned that coddling men, especially black men, turns them into degenerate? They hate you. Ladies, black men hate your guts. They don't have a legit reason to, because I will give you this. You were there for them. You made sure that they were okay, that they were fed. Okay, you fought for them on all levels of government. You got your education to try to infiltrate some of these spots, become judges and lawyers, doctors and everything else. Okay, you did what you thought was going to help. But now you see that does not help. Nothing can help a cicada. Nothing. Is
I
it
mean,
right that they hate you? I don't know. But the fact of the matter is that they do. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
no, I was just saying, to be honest with you, what they're saying on the news is not surprising to me at all, because that was the same rhetoric that they was spewing when that guy shot that girl at that football game. The one he tried to talk to, that, remember, that happened not too long ago. He shot her because he was trying to talk to her and she wouldn't talk to him. When they spoke about him, all I kept hearing people say was, "Oh, look at how he had such a bright future and how he ruined his life." And I'm like, why don't they just go ahead and say they can't believe he did this shit over a girl? Because they was way more sympathetic to the goddamn shooter than the goddamn victim. But that's always the story in this community, about how they have ruined themselves and how they shouldn't have it. And it's like, how about these motherfuckers need to learn how to take no for an answer? How about that? And if somebody doesn't want to talk to you, or in this case doesn't want to play a goddamn game with you, it ain't serious enough to take nobody's life over.
The fact that she was a black girl, that's what contributed to it. Honestly, they just don't like you. They don't, sister or not. They're only as kind to you as what they can get from you. He got everything he could from her: shelter, food. Okay, he's able to lay up, play video games. She protected him, according to the woman on the right. She did everything. She had nothing else to offer. Therefore, she's done. Go ahead, Nefertiti. My bad.
Oh no, it's okay. I actually wasn't trying to jump in. I was just kind of listening. But I mean, what is there to say though, right? I mean, it's the same thing over and over again. We see the same thing over and over again. They're not learning. They just don't give a damn about black women and girls. And I don't know why. I don't, at this point, if whoever gets it, gets it. Whoever doesn't, doesn't.
Yeah, I'm with that shit too. Because I told
Yeah,
you
it's
I
like,
will sit there and sip on my goddamn tea. Okay. And I'll watch it go down. I will watch you and your children starve, especially if you knew better. You got to
Right.
stop this shit. And from looking at the building that they were living in, they were broke. She didn't have a whole bunch of resources and money. That building raggedy as hell that they was living in. But he still slid his ass up on that couch, didn't he?
Yeah, I was gonna say, this is why I'm such a big proponent of fuck the family and divest from the family. I hate that happened to her. She was 21. She was grown. She didn't have to be around them, around that animal. It is so important for you girls that are listening, you young ladies that will get it. Like, once you do divest and you understand, cut the whole fucking family off too, because cousins, uncles, then you have your grandmothers, your aunties that want to, oh, blood is thicker than water, all that dumb ass fucking Blackistan proverbs. Fuck all that. Get the fuck away from that whole fucking Blackistani ass family, because it's true. Like, the more you do for them, the more you help them and enable them and coddle them, it's weird. It's like they're just wired differently. It just makes them hate you and resent you even more, and you're even more of a target. So the best thing you can do is change your number, get the fuck on, move a couple towns over, move out of state, start a new life somewhere else, and fuck the family, because they're just crabs in a barrel. And she looked like she had a lot going for her. She was beautiful. I'm sure he was fucking jealous and just fucking weird about her. And it's just really fucked up and unfortunate. So hopefully.
I got weird vibes about that too. It seemed way more personal than like brother sister stuff.
This is off the chain. Did y'all notice anything else? I'm waiting for somebody in the chat to say it. Did y'all notice anything else? I think I need to go ahead and take it to the end so that you can see what the fuck I'm talking about. I'm waiting for somebody to put it in the chat.
Be in prison for the rest of his life. And probably in hell, God will not forgive him for that.
Now, as they seek justice against her brother, they prepare to bury Amaya and say their final goodbyes.
She was so happy. She was a beautiful little girl. She was determined to prove everybody that I can do it.
Valerie Lyons, WCPO.
Did y'all notice it? Black males are a protected class. What does he look like? They didn't even show you who the fuck he is. They didn't even show you his mugshot, ladies. When I tell you black men are a protected class, they are. Point blank, period. I know it sounds crazy because of all the stuff that y'all heard, coming up, that they're oppressed somehow. But they are protected. You have security guards that can't even do their job correctly at malls and everywhere else because if they simply ask these niggas, what are you doing here? That's grounds for Benjamin Mushmouth Crump to come up with a racism lawsuit. Huh? They can't even do their jobs. The news, they know exactly who he is. They got the perpetrator. They got the facts of the case. She was shot 7 times, right? Once and then 6 more times as he stood over her. So they got the suspect. Where's the mugshot? They didn't put it up here. They didn't even think to put it up here. And it's a lot of these cases like this where I have to go searching for their faces because they protect them. Mammies will tell you, though, they always plastering black man faces up here and making them the goddamn face of crime. No, they're not. They're not. It's a lot of these stories that there's no mugshot attached to it, even though they got the perpetrator. Yes, it's more. She says, what the fuck? No pick. No pick. None. Okay? I just don't say all this shit because it's fun. It's not going to get any better. If you're waiting for it to get better, it's not. As far as relationships go, you shouldn't be getting in relationships with black men. She didn't have a pick of who her brother is, okay? But once you get of a certain age, you have a pick of who you deal with. Snapple just said blood is thicker than water, and that's what black people say. Water tastes better, though. How about that part? Water tastes better. Get the fuck on. Once you get your facts, you know that they can't build, protect, problem solve, none of that shit, right? And then you find out that they actually don't like you. Why are you still sitting there? Are you hoping something's going to change? Are you hoping your family members aren't that? Because I see some of y'all are very tight with your cousin that got 5 baby mamas. What does he actually think about women when he got 5 baby mamas? But that's cuz though, when you rolling up blunts and shit with him and saying all his baby mamas is crazy. Listen, it ain't all his baby mamas is crazy. It's that nigga running through women like they ain't worth a goddamn. Okay.
But in this community, they will sit up and blame all the women for fucking him. And it's like, yeah, they do have some responsibility because when you sign up to be baby mama number 3, 4, and 5, yeah, didn't you look at the other 2 and learn anything? That's a fair assessment to make. But at the same time, why in the fuck do they so easily let him off the hook? They always do that in this community. They don't say he a fucked up individual. They say it's their fault for sleeping with him. That's what they do.
Look,
DC,
if I may,
go ahead.
Oh,
I feel like that's really an indictment of the community. It's like we keep not we as in me, but the Black community. We insist on protecting this group of people who we've already concluded ain't gonna be shit but what they are.
Yeah,
and I feel like that's why. I feel like that's the reason to the last commenter. Like, yeah, they're protected, but we don't place any blame on them because we just have already concluded they ain't shit.
I wanted to go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, I was just trying to figure out where she was going with that. Go ahead, Nefertiti.
I wanted to speak on that quote you just said because it's one of those quotes that people keep misquoting. The proper quote is, "The blood of the covenant is thicker than the water of the womb," meaning that real friends and real people are more important than bad relatives. You should be picking your relationships based off of that which actually sustains you, not just because you came out of a person and or share a bloodline. Because when you're talking about family, it's more than just, oh, we share blood. Family is about loyalty. People who
I told
actually
the ladies
care
in
for you.
Discord, you don't have any control over who your relatives are. You do have control over who your family is.
Right.
Okay.
Yes.
It is what it is. Well, R.I.P. to her. Y'all stop helping these dusty ass family members. Okay. Let's go.
A breaking news update tonight in Dyer County. The search is on for a man who authorities say held his girlfriend captive in a locked closet for 2 months. Good evening and thank you for joining us. I'm Stephanie Skurlock.
And I'm Greg Hurst. That news coming as a total shock to most anyone who hears it. WRG's Bria Jones is back from Dyersburg with late breaking details.
Feet away from this neighborhood watch sign on Ayer Street, Dyersburg police made a shocking discovery that, to the surprise of many, went undetected for far too long. Police say this man, 30-year-old Brenton Bell, is wanted for holding his 40-year-old girlfriend captive inside a vacant house for 2 months.
It's horrible just to know that someone in your backyard is being held captive for 2 months. You know, it's scary, really.
According to police, the female victim was 2 blocks over when she escaped and made her way here to Schaefer Street Saturday afternoon. Witnesses say when police found her, she was wearing a hoodie and covered in mud. Detectives say the woman weighed under 100 pounds and had facial cuts when she broke free and alerted a man working nearby she'd been kidnapped. When officers found the victim, she was hiding underneath a home. She told police she was being kept in a locked closet and only allowed out 1 hour a day with access to very little food and no bathroom. Officers found human waste in the home.
So she's having to shit on the floor. Okay, let me tell y'all, the house was vacant. Okay, this is a black male. Now I'm going somewhere with this shit. She was there for 2 months. Why was she there for 2 months? Because when you notice suspicious behavior and you call the police on a black man, you done fucked up. You don't want to be labeled racist. You don't want to be labeled a nosy neighbor. You don't want to be labeled a shit starter. So as he's coming and going out of a house that's not supposed to have any residents in it, nobody said anything. Because it's damn near a sin in society to call the police on a black man. Okay, she could have been saved a long time ago. But here's the deal. With y'all knowing what you know, you shouldn't be getting into relationships with him. She was 40, he was 30. I don't know how the fuck that went down, but it is what it is. He went on ahead and knew. Make no mistake about it. Niggas know how preferred they are as far as crime goes and racism goes and that type of shit. He could have deflected the whole goddamn thing with some mind your business. You only doing this shit and calling these people because I'm a black man. So everybody minded their business. Okay? 2 whole months. Access to no food, no goddamn bathroom facility. She having to shit and piss on the goddamn floor. And everybody just going about their day. Because guess what, mammies? Has anybody said anything, you'd have got a goddamn poster board and said, defund the police. Wouldn't you have? Don't lie about it. Because they messing with that man. He just going back and forth doing what he got to do. He wasn't bothering nobody. And then when you open the door, you see shit all over the fucking place. And a bitch hiding in a goddamn closet or being locked in the closet. Kyra, what's up?
How much do you want to bet that, because he's on the run, right? So how much do you want to bet a mammy is helping him be on the run? A mammy is hiding him or giving him funds and assistance to stay hidden right now. That's why I'm with Aaliyah. When these mammies are found out to be hiding and covering for them, they need to go to jail too.
I agree. Go ahead.
I'm sorry. No, we're seeing more and more of these cases where these women are being kept in these abandoned homes. So let that be a lesson to the people who live in these types of neighborhoods and stuff like that. Keep your eye on these abandoned homes, because this is where a lot of women are being held captive. A lot of girls are assaulted. People are getting snatched up. They're getting dragged to these empty houses. Because you would think with that lady being gone for 2 whole months, I mean, you mean to tell me at no point did nobody do it? I guess they're not doing the whole neighborhood search thing anymore. This is how people don't care. You see how people don't care when you go missing. You see how people don't ask any questions. They don't even attempt to look for you when, they don't care what happens to you, black women. They don't.
I guarantee you, if his ass was missing, there'd have been a whole goddamn search team led by King Mammy. That's right, King Mammy. You know the one that got the open face goal on her 3rd tooth with that head wrap on, sitting there talking all that shit about the system. She would have been holding the charge. I've seen it before. Y'all know the bitch. Y'all know her. You got some people that's so-called BWE that's still taking up for niggas that's doing wrong shit and saying that how they're not being treated the same way white officers do when they do the same goddamn thing. But had it been him missing, oh, darling, his face would have been on the TV every goddamn 15 minutes or on somebody's YouTube channel. They not putting the resources towards looking for him. He was able to keep a woman for 2 months. Okay? Why wasn't her family asking about her? Huh? She weighed not under 90 pounds, according to the reporter. But, like I say, keep it going. What's happening, Snapple?
Oh, I don't even know what to say about this one.
It's a mess.
I'm glad she's alive, and y'all said it all on this one. I'm speechless.
It'll make you speechless. I get confused as to why any pushback ever happens over here. Okay.
I mean, quite frankly, I'm just sick of the racial comparison with everything. Every time something is brought up, the rebuttal should not always be to bring up what other races do. And they still don't get why that deflection and that cop out is so fucked up. And it's like, goddamn, can we stick to the fucking subject and talk about what the fuck they're doing and the fucked up ways that they're treating black women and the fucked up ways that they're fucking up this community? Can we talk about that? Me personally, I am sick of the racial comparisons. It's time to grow the fuck up. But guess what? You don't have to. Because it's like I said before, with this new law passing, that's one step towards them taking this shit back, because people are getting sick and goddamn tired of y'all. They really are. And they ain't gonna give a fuck about their race shit and nothing else. You gonna sit your ass down in a corner and put that fucking dunce hat on your head and shut the fuck up. Ain't nobody gonna want to hear that bullshit in a minute. And I cannot goddamn blame them. Like I said, that's just the first step. And you better believe it won't just be Mississippi. If that shit goes over there, yeah, you better believe this the South. A whole lot of people gonna start getting a whole bunch of bright ass ideas because they are tired of you fucking up this goddamn country, and I don't blame.
They really don't want to have the race comparison conversation, because the real conversation will have them, walking away. If you want to compare black men and white men, you don't want to do that. You don't want to have that conversation. Not over here, you don't. Because once we get past the fact that there's crime in every society, then we got to talk about contributions. You don't want to have that conversation, not with me. So once we finish talking about white men kidnap, black men kidnap, white men rob, black men rob, white men kill, black men kill. Okay, we got it out the way. Now, let's see who's keeping the water clean. Let's see who's building skyscrapers. Let's see who's keeping the electric on, your Wi-Fi to even be able to talk to any goddamn body, your cell phone, so on and fucking so forth. The healthcare system, the entitlement program. You don't want to talk about that. Your ass gonna be looking like Michael Jackson moonwalking the fuck backwards out the door because you don't want to talk about that. You wanted to compare the two, so let's get to comparing, bitch. Who is keeping the shit going?
Because then you want to go ahead.
No, exactly. We talking about those brads, not these fucking weirdo internet motherfuckers that are, incels playing make believe on the internet, preying on women and shit. Not y'all weirdos. We talking about those brads with the resources. Just to clarify.
Yeah, kind of like the dude that went on ahead and saved her. Whatever. We won't even go there, but yeah. They get the gist. They just being intellectually dishonest about who the fuck we talking about. We're not talking about incels that showing their wife titties all over the place. Go ahead.
Because then you would be forced to have to face which contributions or how much they have not actually contributed to the way this country is run. I mean, because you try to run a country, the goal is to try to run your country like a well-oiled machine, right? So that means that all the components have to play their own part. And so then if you start talking about, if that's the comparison they actually really want to make, then you have to face the fact that they have contributed very little. And then that's when the argument becomes, okay, well, then that was slavery, and then that was Jim Crow, and then all this oppression, and they Black Wall Street, and all this other stuff. And then they're going to take you back hundreds of years into the past. And it's like, no. We want to talk about right now. Let's talk about currently. See, they don't. See, that's why I say I get tired of the racial comparison bullshit, because they can't be honest about it. They refuse to be honest about it.
Well, another thing about that is, since we're doing comparisons, when a white male cuts up, who holds him accountable? The other white men of the community. When a black male cuts up, who holds him accountable? the white men in the community.
Absolutely. Because if you want justice, that's who gonna have to be the one to track him down and lock him up. And see, that's when white folks ain't so bad now, then, is it? See, that's when Zaddy ain't that bad now, is he? When you need his help to lock one of these motherfuckers up. Any other time, you stay complaining about how unfair and unjust it is, though. That's why I say black folks are really full of shit. They want it both ways. They really do.
They are full of shit. I care, because when they be like, justice for such and so, well, where do you think that's going to come from, madame? Huh? Oh, you thought we was through? We ain't through. Let's go.
A teen facing charges in the shooting deaths of 3 people inside a Bolingbrook home.
Is that another kid? Is that another kid? Y'all are stupid as fuck. Right? You let him come over to see your baby girl, and he done tore up the goddamn place because you didn't prejudge. Let me tell you something. When my daughter was a minor, she knew good and goddamn well never to bring nothing like that to my motherfucking house. Okay? She knew better. Knew better. If she was talking to him at school, I don't know. But when it was time to introduce a boy to me and her father, if it looked like that, we gonna, baby, I don't got time right now. Say goodnight to your company and then meet me in my bedroom so we can talk. It's not going, you have to do that shit. Look at what happens when you don't.
You're absolutely right, Kim.
Go ahead.
Oh no, I'm sorry. I was just responding back to the comment that you pinned. You're absolutely right, Caramel Mocha. We do not subscribe to the selective breeding here. I saw that comment as well. No, we don't do that. We do not suggest going dumpster diving to selectively breed with them. Suggest there's actually something to select from. The whole batch is rotten. Throw it out. We don't subscribe to that selective breeding bullshit. There's nothing to select from. Let it go. Leave it alone. Cut their ass out and vet everybody else. I don't know how many times we got to say this. This is divestment over here. Real fucking divestment. If you want that fake watered down bullshit, you're in the wrong spot.
It is what it is. I don't know whether, you ladies are talking. If y'all have teenage daughters, be straight up with them. Because you don't want to end up on one of these goddamn 2-minute newscasts. You don't. There is no reversing that. Once your baby is gone, your baby is gone. And that includes you too. If you out here dating and checking and looking for companionship or whatever, once your spirit leaves your body, it's gone. You can't undo this shit. You doing it for what? Because you didn't want to seem like a self-hater? Because you didn't want to be somebody that prejudges, you want to give everybody a chance. Well, that's costing people their lives. This baby is gone. And 16-year-old, that's a baby to me. Sorry, not sorry. Let's go.
And we're learning more about who was inside that home at the time. NBC5's Lisa Chavarria joins us live now from Bolingbrook here with the very latest and what's a very disturbing case.
It really is, JC and Michelle, just a tragic case. Bolingbrook police say the 17-year-old shot and killed his girlfriend inside of her home. They also say that he killed a man who was inside as well as a 9-year-old girl.
Do you care about that kid? Somebody was getting ready to say something to me. Go ahead. I'm sorry. The video started playing again.
No. This is your show. It's Neff. I was just thinking about that whole worrying about being called a self-hater. So first off, the only self you have is the one that currently inhabits the body you're in. So that's yourself. So when they say self-hate, like that's that whole all Black people are one people's bullshit, which I think I really wish Black women would let that go. Just because the other person is Black doesn't mean that they're you. That's not you. You are you. Self-hate would be doing anything that is not in your best interest. So yes, if you are dealing with someone who is not in your best interest, then you are indeed practicing self-hate. So don't do that. Like
They talk about, we talk about minors and who commit crime and that type of shit. Listen, you care about minors. Where is your live stream or your upload about this 9-year-old that was simply just being home in the evening? that got took out by him. No, the mammies only care about the fact that they getting ready to take this young boy and go ahead and charge him as an adult. And that's all you care about. You are dangerous, ma'am. You're dangerous. In African diaspora, why are you back? Why are you back? You ain't getting up here, sir. You ain't got nothing. I was notified that you're a troll, so move the fuck on. I really don't want to hear anything you have to say. You are a black man. So guess what? Skedaddle. Skedaddle, sir. Get out the green room.
Another thing, I think the term self-hate is only used as a shaming tactic to say, okay, well, if you judge anybody who looks like you or where somebody's supposed to be in your own image, then all of a sudden, by default, you must hate yourself and anything that looks like you. No, what you fail to realize is I love myself. And in fact, I love myself way more than you do because I'm putting myself first, my mental health first, my safety first, and every damn thing else. So how is that self-hate? That's self-preservation, which is the first law of nature. And I think a lot of people actually forget that when they start talking about self-hate. Oh, so me protecting myself now, which is what I'm supposed to innately do. All of a sudden that translates into me hating myself. I hate myself so much that I'm getting the fuck out of harm's way. It makes absolutely no sense. Now you can play Russian roulette with your life and that's your business, but don't expect me to stick around and do that shit. And I don't think that equates to self-hate. But then again, when you're talking to a group of confused ass people, they don't know the difference between self-hate and self-love. They don't know the difference.
That's them using that spirituality against people, because when you go down that route, and as the person who's in this stuff, when you start going down that route, they want to throw that we're all one at you. And usually what
We're
happens
not all one though.
Exactly. No, we are. I know.
You can't tell me that shit. I mean, if a mammy ever fixes her goddamn shit log lover to go ahead and tell me that as a people we're all one, I don't fucking think so. And the fact that you think so is bewildering me, because they taking you out. They don't think you all one. They choking your ass up out of here. They putting that muzzle up to your mouth and blowing your brains out.
Mm-hmm.
They don't even think they're all one with other black women, because how many times do these mammies backstab and betray black women and girls in favor of these cicadas? Like, they don't even see themselves as part of a black woman collective.
Right. Right. It's meant to disarm you. It's meant to disarm you and have you not looking out for yourself, your best self-interest, regardless of who it is, whoever's in front of you.
That's why it's important not to even have conversations with them. That's why when y'all see motherfuckers name African diaspora and shit like that, they can't get a word out, because it's all stupid shit. It's all stupid shit. I'm not going to be with a community that can't make sure I'm okay, and then half of the community can't stand me because I'm a black woman. It's probably more than half. What, black men are half of it, and then you got mammies, which they're the majority. So I'm guessing about 75-80% of that community can't stand you. Who gonna be one with you? I'm not doing that fucking shit. Okay, y'all are the self-haters, the ones that want to get together with black people, sing kumbaya, and then get your shit split, because that's what's gonna happen next, boo. Let me tell y'all something. When you get with black men and try to work it out or whatever, and then you find out he's violent, and then you try to use the system to get like protective orders and stuff like that, you should try to get a protective order. I'm not discouraging you from doing that, but a lot of women that are getting fucked up, they actually do have protective orders in place. Black women that have protective orders in place, they get knocked the fuck off. Black women that are pregnant, they get knocked the fuck off. All these things, you keep trying it, and then you go to other people's community and try to get them to protect you from the shit. Okay, we got an example right here, and I want y'all to look at this lady because the news didn't show her, but let's go.
New information about the man charged with murdering a woman, Nicole Bullock, in Durham in a hotel room yesterday. We've learned he has a history of domestic violence charges involving her. Bullock now leaves behind multiple children as young as 2. Thanks.
If you have a history of domestic violence repeatedly with somebody, now, ma'am, you're volunteering at this point. If there's a long ass rap sheet of him busting you upside your head, you are a volunteer at this point. You're not a victim at all, ma'am. You're gonna have to make an effort to get the fuck out. It's not, domestic violence doesn't get better. Okay. You're not going to raise your voice at me, much less strike me without losing me. That's it. That's all. When we're talking, you're going to use your inside voice. You're going to remain calm. You're going to do what you need to do so we can talk this out in a relationship. You're not going to raise your voice at me. And that goes for the non-black men. I'm not even talking about niggas, because ain't no way I'd be called dead with a motherfucking nigga for no goddamn reason. I don't give a fuck. But nobody should be raising their voice and none of that shit. You keep giving them chances over and over and over and over and over again. And here we are. She's gone. Irreversible. Let's go.
Thanks for joining us. I'm Lena Tillett.
And I'm Dan Haggerty. Court records reveal that Rodney Crawford was on probation at the time of the killing for previous charges of assaulting Bullock. WRL's Durham reporter Sarah Kruger details what she learned through court records.
Nicole Bullock often feared for her safety when she was around Rodney Crawford, so much so she took out this domestic violence protection order around this time last year. It was still in effect. Durham police were called to the Sonesta Select Hotel off of Highway 55 early Sunday morning. There, a search warrant details what they found. 29-year-old Nicole Bullock lying on a bed, dead. Rodney Crawford, now charged with her murder, is...
So that's Rodney Crawford. Let me go ahead and get you a picture of her and her children, because they didn't show them here. Why, I don't know, but it's a mess. I saw this picture and it broke my fucking heart. It really did. Okay. Why, y'all? Why? Look at all them damn kids. And in this particular picture, she's pregnant again. Again. She went to these folks' system to try to protect herself from this motherfucking man, but then she wouldn't stop meeting up with him. What do you expect people to do? They're not going to babysit you 24/7. You're going to have to make smarter choices than this. RIP to her. I don't know what do y'all think is going to happen with these boys? Y'all know what they're going to be in society, right? Do I have to say it? Because they're all boys, even the one she's pregnant with. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
I was about to just say, damn, all those thuns about to be unleashed upon society. Oh, gosh. Y'all in Durham, please be careful.
I'm telling you, and what they're going to do when any of them commit any violence, they're going to blame it on the fact that their mother was taken out when they were little. There's going to always be an excuse. Always. But this is what the black community gives. Okay? I don't understand it when I don't care if you ugly as fuck. But I'm real confused by you beautiful black women that don't think you deserve better than this shit here. Come on now. Come on now. They turning you into baby stations and then they turning you into corpses. What? Look at this nigga. That you let that on top of you? You let that put babies in you? You let that motherfucker get off and derive pleasure from your body after beating your ass all these years? Then you finally got fed up and now you're gone. Y'all can't let that. My advice to you is not even to get into the relationships, situationships, none of that shit with them. Even you ones that are in this polygamy bullshit and trying to let him have as much pussy as he want and do whatever the fuck he want. I've seen it to where these niggas got 3 and 4 wives and they still cheat on their wives. Do you hear me? You're not, as a black woman, going to be enough for them. Even though you're worth more than gold in my eyes. You don't see it. I wish you'd open your eyes and see it, but you're not moving like you give a fuck about yourself. Somebody's trying to say something. Go ahead.
I mean, the beasts are never satiated. Here's the thing. I don't know when black women are going to understand that the more you give them, the worse they become. That should tell you something. Giving them what they want is not the answer. It's not. If anything, that's making them hate you even more. Mm-hmm. And so you give them what they want. Their resentment keeps building up, and then all of a sudden they take it out on you in the worst way possible. You gotta know that, and we've talked about this before. Most men like a challenge. The problem is you've made yourself you've made it way too easy for them. You're too accessible. You're too easy. You don't make them work for anything. I mean, it's just ridiculous. And DZ actually took the words out of my mouth when she said that woman was absolutely beautiful. You're not going to tell me that this is the best she could do. We have a real self-esteem issue going on with these women in this community. And I don't know what it's going to take to actually change that, because a lot of us really just don't seem to understand our worth. And I don't understand why. Well, I guess I do understand it after being putting up with years and years and years of being told you ain't shit if you didn't get it from your family, you got it from these motherfuckers online. Men been telling you all your life you ain't this, you ain't that. I mean, I guess I kind of get it, but at some point we're gonna have to either get some mental health and go get some therapy and find a way to get past this shit, because this is not healthy and this shit is getting us killed. Get some self-esteem and stop making yourself so easy to them. Stop. You give them everything. Stop doing that.
You're not gonna be able to impress them. How many times have y'all seen a woman celebrating her degree? She went and got her bachelor's degree and she posted online, finally did it, blah, 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 blah. And it's a nigga up under there saying that degree ain't gonna keep you warm at night. There's nothing that you can do to impress them. It would behoove you to stop trying to impress niggas. They're not gonna be impressed with you. Now, if a white chick go get a GED, he get ready to do cartwheels and shit and tell y'all better watch out because they coming. This is how they keep y'all mentally fucked. Okay,
Yeah.
you have to stop chasing these niggas around. They already know your game. You ain't hiding it from nobody. You hotep bitches, you're not hiding it from. They getting all the praise without having to do any work. And honestly, I don't know if men know this, but they don't like it whenever you just. They know they don't deserve it, and when you give it to him, knowing he knows that he doesn't deserve it, they lose all respect for you. And there's not a black man on the planet that deserves you. Period. It's not one.
And I just don't understand when they got in their head that, okay, giving them permission to fuck who they want to fuck is going to keep him at home with me. In what world? I've never understood that logic. Okay, well, I'm going to share him and just we'll be in an open relationship or a polyamorous relationship, and we'll just fuck whoever we want, even though we're supposed to be in a relationship. Mind you, you don't get to fuck whoever you want. He gets to fuck whoever he wants, because I guarantee you, he can bring in all the women he wants. But if you even suggest bringing in another man that he would have to compete with, and heaven forbid the man dick is better than his and his wallet is bigger, he ain't even finna invite that kind of competition into the relationship. But you will actually lay around and allow that bullshit and convince yourself that that is a healthy relationship and that's the way it's actually supposed to go, when you can act. I'm just not getting the logic. Why is I don't get that. I've never understood why we think it's a good idea to just give them permission to just fuck around with whoever they want to fuck around with. It doesn't work that way. That's not going to keep him coming back home.
And to add to that, ladies, if you've made a mistake, don't double down and keep making the same mistake over and over and over again. You saw how many future felons she birthed and how many and that she was already pregnant with the other one. She should have stopped after one. Y'all aren't married. He's already graping out. Why would you keep going back over and over and over again?
I think black women think that if you breathe life into him and keep giving him babies, somehow, some way, one day he's going to wake up and say, you know what, girl, I'm finna provide and protect you. I love these babies. I love you. You've been ride or die. Bitch, if you are sitting up waiting for a black male to say that to you, good luck to you. Okay. Aaliyah was asking, what is it going to take? I don't think anything, a mammy that's dead set on being a mammy, it's just not going to work, because the dead bodies don't even move her. Seeing other black women being murdered doesn't move her. So I don't think anything will.
DZ,
Yes.
that's not true. They will say it. They will say it April 1st.
By April 1st, that tax return is already spent. They go to H&R Block Express, and that tax return is gone, boom, by April 1st. It's gone, baby.
They'll get all the compliments and everything.
But though there's another time when they can get these cicadas, when they're old and sick and they need a nurse with a purse, that type of shit. Oh yeah, he's talking about marriage now. That dude that you've been in a boyfriend-girlfriend relationship with for 20 years. Oh, now that he's 65 and his dick doesn't work and he was fucking around, didn't even get enough money to get Medicare and Social Security on. Yeah, he's ready to marry you now.
Yeah. Your retirement is coming in. Yeah. That's about what? A good pension right there? Oh, yeah. He's ready to settle down.
I'm telling you. So now you wiping ass, getting all that Cialis dick, and got a whole bunch of goddamn girl. Your self-esteem is low. You deserve better. You
Absolutely
deserve
not.
better. Quit worrying about passport pros. Quit worrying about what celebrity black man is fucking on. I mean, whenever there's a celebrity black man, y'all, and he brings his date or whatever to the Oscars or what have you, they leaning towards they screen, squinting their eyes, trying to see, is she black? Let me see. Look, is she look? You squeezing your eyes trying to find the blackness in her because you don't want to believe that this nigga is giving his money to some. They kill me with that shit. Let them go. They don't want you. They told you that they're going to give their money to other races of women, black women. That's what they want to do. Let them go do it. You go do you.
Well, let's be real though, DZ. He's giving your money, well, not yours, but Black Mammy's money to the other non-black woman. Because let's be real, who's spending the money to go see the latest Black Panther movie, for example? Black women.
I see they up there complaining about the Oscars again. Listen, y'all, I can't do it every fucking year. I thought white people wasn't shit. But you sitting up there on Twitter having a meltdown that you ain't get one of them awards from them white folk, huh? Where is the black male equivalent to the Oscars, and why aren't you winning that? It is up to your so-called men to make you a winner, make you the center of attention, award you. You sitting there knowing good and goddamn well he ain't got shit. So you're going to turn to white people and be like, award me. This nigga ain't got nothing, but I love him. But anyway, give me one of them awards because Wakanda forever. Fuck that shit.
And see, I'm actually glad you brought up the Oscars because this is why black people irritate the fuck out of me. When they tell blatant lies just to make everything about race, which is what I was saying earlier, is always a racial comparison. Instead, you want to make it about race instead of the quality of work these people put out. Now, I adore Angela Bassett. I do. I've watched everything she's ever done. And, people got to know that not everyone will win for the reasons that you think they should. Do not try to take anything away from Jamie Lee Curtis just because you like Angela Bassett. Because Jamie Lee is legend. She's paid her dues for over 45 years.
But
and this is her. Yeah.
Isn't it up to black men to go ahead and award Angela Bassett? Where is her award?
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. But I just wanted to get that out there because I saw a lot of fuck shit on social media over the last day or so about this. And I'm like, why are they sitting up doing this? Because you really look like sore losers every time you do it. You look like, don't be like that. You have to have sportsmen like conduct. They have been dragging Jamie Lee and her performance online. And I said, this is her first time winning an Oscar, despite who her parents are. People trying to pretend like, oh, it's because of who her parents are. So to pretend like she didn't deserve it after being in this business, hell, Tony Curtis nor Janet Leigh were given Oscars for their work. And Tony had been in the business like 60 years and Janet 50. So don't pretend like she only won because of who her parents are when she has done the work. And on top of that, they're complaining that Rihanna didn't win. But let's be clear, that song was atrocious. I don't know why. I don't know why we refuse to be honest. Does Rihanna have some bangers? Absolutely.
That was a Negro spiritual I made.
What was the atrocious song? Oh, I'm sorry.
Go ahead, Snapple.
No, I was saying you talking about that Negro spiritual that she had released. They wanted that to win an Oscar.
Yeah, they were trying to pretend like that was Oscar worthy. And see, this is what I'm talking about. There was nothing Oscar worthy about that song. In my opinion, hell, Lady Gaga was robbed. And she had one of the best ballads for Top Gun Maverick that I've heard in years. And I do mean years, a song that will lyrically bring you to tears. As soon as I heard it, I said she did that. She deserves the Grammy and the Oscar. But she didn't get it either. But that's my opinion. Meanwhile,
they was being racist towards Lady Gaga. Y'all, whenever they put a black person on the ticket, black people, if they don't get the win, everybody's being racist. Darling, it is what it is. It's called competition. You know that thing that you don't make black men do? That you're not familiar with it, huh? It's a business. Oscars is a business. Ma'am, just because I know good and goddamn well when white people get on the ticket and they have a black person on the ticket with them, and that's who they competing against, it's like, oh shit, I'm finna get dragged online if I win this Oscar and this person don't win, because that's what we do every goddamn time. That's what niggas do.
And see, I'm gonna tell you why we keep getting caught up in bullshit like this. Because this is the bullshit that we be arguing over. Every time one of these award shows come up, you want to look at the worst body of work and try to pretend like that's the best shit you ever heard. See, black people want to argue when it comes time to the Grammys and shows like this and the Oscars and stuff like that. Black people want to argue over songs like "Super Freaky Girl" and "Big Dick Energy" to win Grammys and what categories they need to be in.
Oh
And shit
my
like that.
God.
Exactly. They ain't even looking at the quality of those songs, but that we will promote some bullshit in a minute and then put that in the same league with artistry, and it's embarrassing. And the songs are not Grammy worthy, and that's not to say these people don't have some bangers. Hell, I mean, it's ridiculous. We
White
have
people
got
have
to stop
charged
doing this, though.
black people have charged white people with taking care of them for the rest of their lives because of slavery. I'm talking about all the way down to the year 4026. Black people think white people are supposed to coddle them, make them first, consider their feelings. They're supposed to win everything. It's like the macaroni art example that I gave y'all. You know, when that 2-year-old comes home with that macaroni art that he or she did at daycare and the shit looks terrible, it looks like a hot fucking mess. And then you have to say, oh, look at that. That is so, you are so artistic. Look at you. That's how black people act. You have to praise their macaroni art. Y'all know good and goddamn well, and you never tell the child this, but that shit looks terrible. That construction paper looks terrible. That macaroni looks terrible. The shit is all over the place. And you have to grab the child, hug the child, and say, you did good. That was your best right there. And that shit looks horrible. That song that Rihanna sung, and I went and looked it up after you told me about it, Aaliyah, that shit was trash. Trash.
My thing though is, look, black folks used up all of those black points when 3-6 Mafia won an Oscar for his Heart Out There for a Pimp. Like, what type of fuck shit is that?
Exactly. And I felt, to be honest with you, I felt the same way about Beyonce. I don't give a fuck what y'all say. Their Renaissance album was absolutely horrible. And I love me some B. But people will sit up and act like that was Beyonce's best work, like B-Day, I Am Sasha Fierce, and 4 didn't happen. And contrary to what y'all think, Beyonce or Rihanna is not supposed to win and everything just because you like them or their music, especially if the lyrics and quality is just not there. And I cannot with black people. Stop shitting on folks in favor of the people that you like just because you want someone else to win. You cannot pretend like the other person was not equally as deserving. Angela will win when it's her time. So stop this bullshit or stay off these people's award show if you cannot accept that your favorites won't win every time you think they should. Angela is legend. She has nothing left to prove whether she walks away with the Oscar or not. Are y'all going to be okay with that? But these tantrums have got to stop. They do this every damn award show, and it's beyond tiresome at this point. We don't know how to be reasonable
no more. They ain't thinking about their ass no more. It's just a bunch of white noise in the back. It's like if you turn your fan on when you get ready to fall asleep, you kind of don't hear the fan anymore. It's just part of the background. All that accusations of racism and shit like that, they are falling into white noise category because you use it way too damn much. You're gonna have to pull up your pants and go ahead and do what you have to do. But I know it's impossible for you, community. I know that it's very hard for you, and you're just gonna keep taking L's. Troll, are you dusty?
Will you go away?
So that I'll take that as a yes. Sir, let me tell you something real quick. Your community sucks. Your countrymen are trash. They're weak. They're conquered. That includes you. That includes your mammy. That includes your brother. You'll never be anything. And I hope these black women go ahead and grab their purses and leave. Okay? You are a weirdo. You're an incel, right? You are in a hot fucking mess. There's a mammy that's live right now as we speak. Why don't you go over there and twist her nipples and tell her you're there and she'll be happy to see you? Okay? So go somewhere else and find a place to troll. Okay? Have a good one. Anyway.
What the fuck is this sinister laugh all about? Does he think that scares somebody over here?
I don't know what his fucking problem is.
Okay, we exorcised
I
this
feel,
motherfucker.
I feel safer around Michael Myers with a goddamn Bowie knife in his hand than this monster.
Oh, that was a Kane, y'all. That's who's supposed to be in leadership. I mean, y'all won't believe how long whoever he was sat back there and wait to get up here to just do that. These are the people that's supposed to be leading that community. That's why people in Jackson and Flint and all these motherfucking places are drinking piss water. This is why you stay in long ass lines trying to make sure that they don't cut your emergency benefits so that your children can eat. This is why you're on Medicaid. This is why you have no cities that are prosperous, right? That aren't diversified because white folks are there. This is why you have nothing. This is why when you look for justice, you have to go to white people for it. That's why. That's an example why. He got up here, chicken shitted out, and all he can do was do the nervous incel laugh. And speaking of incels, you got people around here following some of these incels, clapping like some weirdos because they have a dick. You can't make this shit up. It's a goddamn dystopia. Let me finish my goddamn news story before I say some shit that's against community guidelines.
Is the one who called 911. According to a search warrant, he told police he didn't mean for this to happen. He claims Bullock called him to come over to the hotel. Once there, they started arguing over a cell phone, and then a tussle started. The warrant explains Bullock was the mother of his children. In Crawford's court appearance, we learned he has 5 kids. Going through court records, I found Crawford was charged with assaulting Bullock on at least one other occasion in May of 2021 when one of their children was right there. He was on probation for those charges at the time of the murder. In her own words and her own handwriting, Bullock describes what happened in her motion seeking a domestic violence protection order. She says Crawford came to her home while she and her child were asleep in bed. She says he punched her numerous times, beating her so severely her right eye was fractured. On another occasion, she describes being beaten while pregnant with his child to the point that every time my eye would come in contact with light, my eye would hurt so bad. Another time, she wrote that he followed her home, grabbed her by the hair and dragged her, headbutted her and punched her, then forcibly cut off her hair with a pair of scissors. In another instance, she wrote, "I'm afraid of what he may do next." A judge gave Crawford no bond today, ensuring he will remain in jail for the time being. I did reach out to family and friends of Nicole Bullock, trying to learn more about her. At this time, I have not been able to connect with them. Sarah Kruger, WRAL News.
So, yeah, I want to know, you ladies out here in the chat, how many times this is going to have to happen before you see that motherfuckers ain't shit. We just got finished talking about the Oscars, and niggas is tweeting all over the goddamn place about it. They're not tweeting about that Mississippi Jim Crow law that just passed the House, and they're not tweeting about this woman getting fucked up over and over and over after having a protection order ending up dead. Okay? But you worried about what white folks is doing with a goddamn metal statue. This is the Black community. Okay? Get your shit and get the fuck out. Nothing's going to change. By the way, all of these fractured eyes, paralyzations, all this shit that's happening to people is happening at the hands of some mammy's black ass son. And the laws are starting to reflect what the fuck is going on in your community. Meanwhile, you got black women assisting them in the nonsense. I want to show y'all something so that y'all can have a fit in the goddamn comment section. And I'm going to be sitting here reading the goddamn comments because this is a hot ass mess. This is your cousin. This is your brother. This is your family members that you claim that we're being extreme about. Okay? These black women and their sons are very, very dangerous. Run.
In a crime alert, a Memphis mother is looking at charges accused of attacking a police officer to try to keep her son from being taken into custody. WRG's Shay Arthur is live tonight with what investigators say unfolded. And Shay, go ahead, fill us in. What do you know?
Hey, Greg, well, last check, she's here in jail tonight on an assault charge after her son had warrants out for his arrest. His mother, 32-year-old Xavier Crawford, looks at a list of charges after Memphis police say she tried to stop officers from picking up her son on outstanding warrants yesterday. Because we believe her son is under the age of 18, we aren't naming him. But here's what investigators tell us happened when officers went to pick up Crawford's son on warrants for violation of probation and theft of property in South Memphis off Cynthia Place and St. Paul Avenue. Crawford opened the back door of the car he was inside of and shielded herself between an officer and her son. As the son started to get out of the car, Crawford is accused of grabbing a hold of the officer and swinging at him while her son took off, while repeatedly yelling for him to run. We checked with the court. The name matching Crawford's son shows to have 18 total contacts with the court. They include multiple theft of property cases, as well as multiple burglary of vehicle cases, attempted burglary of a vehicle, unlawful possession of a weapon, assault, and vandalism. A deputy chief with Memphis Police told us this about crime in the Bluff City involving young people.
You got to change the mindset of the juvenile, okay?
Stephen, Zeddy, Chandler, there is no change in the minds of a juvenile cicada. I need to go ahead and correct you on that. There's no way to do it. Keep going.
Young ages, they're influenced by a lot of factors that are in the community.
Translation, they're influenced by the niggas in that community and by their mothers that go ahead and fly open the goddamn passenger door, fight the cop and tell her son to run, even though he has a warrant. That y'all see that long ass list of contacts that he had, and this is all before the age of 18. Go.
We've just got to get back to where you have parental oversight, parental involvement, and community involvement. A long time ago, it used to be that if the parent were absent at work, what have you, that the community would kind of look out for the child. We're not seeing that as much anymore.
With many children being influenced by outside factors, not realizing the danger eventually lying ahead.
I don't want to hear what she has to say because there's nothing left to say. Ladies, get your shit and get the fuck on. Before we go, we have us another troll, right? Let's go ahead and bring them up here, and then I'm going to enjoy my life and the ladies that's off in my Discord. Proud Mammy, are you dusty? Proud Mammy, do you know how to work your microphone? Because you're on mute. So if you're sitting there baying at the moon, we can't hear you, Proud Mammy.
She's talking big shit in the back chat. So get your Boost mobile phone together, honey. Get off mute and say what you got to say. Don't be.
I'm wondering. I wonder, is that Naker under a different name? I mean, this is
That was
getting
just
old.
in there. That guy that was just in there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know that weirdo. Whatever. My God, you guys, these people who, whatever, they always, and that's it sounds like a guy. They always say the same things. They talk about physical stuff. They want to say we're on section. We are the most bougie, elitist, ghetto, poor, rich, light-skinned, dark-skinned, educated, uneducated. I need some more contradictions, ladies. We are all of that, and we are every woman. We are every.
They just pull shit out of their ass. They don't know.
Somebody had did a super chat and said we want to be white, y'all. Baby, listen, I don't want to be white. The thing is, if I was white, I probably wouldn't be with my husband because you know what he prefers? All this chocolate, bitch. So no, I don't.
So now every time we say something, it's either we're ghetto or now it's we want to be white. And it's like, I don't get it. When we were up here talking about hip hop music, we weren't divested because I knew about that. So now that I listen to a variety of things, now I want to be white. It's ridiculous. So I guess I really want to be white because I was listening to Rob Zombie and Imagine Dragons when I was working out this morning and several other white dudes. I guess I want to be a rock god also. So, I mean, since we're defined now by the music that we listen to, they, like I said before, they just come up with the dumbest shit they can to try to tell us who the fuck they think we are. Like, you don't know nobody up here. Shut the fuck up.
How on earth would my husband be able to fetishize me if I was white? He has to have me be chocolate in order to fetishize me and call me food names and that type of stuff and smack me on the ass and then pay my mortgage. How about that part, bitch? And Melinda, I see you in the chat. The instructions on how to get in Discord are on your screen right now.
Oh,
Okay.
I forgot. I was listening to Godsmack too, so I guess that means too. That's why I say it's just a whole bunch of shit. Can we do anything right? Is what I want to know. Can we do anything right?
Aaliyah, are we
No.
then? Are we white by association because we listen to that music?
Absolutely. I want to be white because I listen to some Katy Perry and and I want to be white. Absolutely.
Shit, one of my favorite bands of all time is Toto. Pull up.
Yeah, I'm
I
transracial.
love Toto, baby. Them motherfuckers was hitting.
Now, Neff, you know what we are. We're white by penetration. I mean,
Yes.
yes, white by
No,
penetration.
Now I do like a little of a Asian persuasion, so I like the variety there. But yeah, definitely white
Let's take a
in
look at the
music.
builders before we go to the Discord. I want to see the builders again. Let's go.
Bro, just walk, bro. Shut the fuck up. I'm trying. Bro, just walk. Hold on. Girl. Wait a minute. Girl. Whoa! Girl, come on, just walk. Look. Okay, hold on. Walk. Just walk, baby. Walk. 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 Okay. You got it. Oh, I'm weak in the knee, bitch. You got it. You got it. You got it. You got it. Now watch me. Watch me. Woo! Don't hold on to me, baby. Hold on. Don't hold on to me, baby. Come on, Sarah. You can do it. Come on. Come on, Sarah. You can do it, baby. Walk. Bitch, you gonna make me fall. Girl, get it together. I can't do it, Renee. I can't do it. Come on, let's walk. Renee, I'm trying, bitch. This is my first time you been gay. I been gay, baby. Hold on. Been gay. Send me the pose. Okay, come on, let's pose. No, hold on. Wait, I'm about to fall. Hold on. You don't make me fall. Bitch, I ain't making no video on this. You ain't that gay. Don't worry about it. I ain't making no video. Right. I can't do it. Woo!
Keep holding on to them and go ahead and bathe in that piss water. You better keep up with those new Jim Crow laws that are coming, all right? Quit ignoring them. Quit worrying about Wakanda forever and them Oscars, and watch what laws are being made because your sons are trash. I love you, right? See you ladies in Discord. I'll see y'all on Friday. Taco time.
Bye, y'all.
Thank you.